Look around you, most people are stuck, moving through life like they've got a chain around their neck. Lazy, soft, scared. They talk big, but when it's time to act, silence, excuses, quitting. But you're here for more. You feel it, don't you? That fire inside you that won't shut up. That voice that says, I was built for something bigger. Let me tell you something, being unstoppable isn't a gift. It's not luck, it's not magic. It's a choice, a decision you make every single day to not be like the rest, to build yourself into something sharp, ruthless, relentless, and the truth is, most won't make it. Because it's easier to complain than to conquer. It's easier to scroll, to sleep, to give in, but not you. You're not here to be average. You're not here to blend in. You're here to dominate. You want to be unstoppable. Then stop waiting, stop hoping, stop begging for life to change. Rip that weakness out of your system and replace it with power, discipline, control, because the world doesn't care about your excuses. It respects results, and those results, they come from habits, not wishes, not dreams, habits. And today, I'm going to give you the 5 habits that will turn you into a weapon, a machine, a storm that cannot be stopped. Let's get into it. Look around you, just stop and really look. Most people are stuck in their own heads, stuck in routines they didn't choose, stuck in a life that doesn't challenge them, doesn't grow them, doesn't set their soul on fire. And the worst part, they've accepted it. They've made peace with being average. They've made peace with just surviving instead of living. That's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. People aren't lazy because they want to be. They're lazy because they've been trained to be, told that comfort is success, that safety is the goal, that as long as you have food, Wi-Fi, and a couch, you're doing fine. But deep down, we all know that's a lie. There's something inside you that knows, something inside you that hates settling, that voice in the back of your mind that speaks when everything's quiet, when you're alone at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering what the hell you're doing with your life. That voice doesn't lie, it doesn't care about comfort, it doesn't care how tired you are, it doesn't care what your friends are doing, it wants more, and that's why you're here, not because everything's perfect, not because you figured it all out, but because you know you were built for more. You feel it in your gut. You know this life isn't supposed to be just about paying bills and wasting time. You feel like a beast that hasn't even been woken up yet. That's not your imagination, that's your potential. But let's get something straight right now. Just having potential doesn't mean a damn thing. Everyone has potential. The difference is, most people never act on it. They get scared, they get distracted, they get soft. Life punches them once and they fold. They let comfort eat their ambition. They let failure rewrite their dreams. You've got to be different. You've got to be bold enough to call yourself out. To say, I'm not doing enough. To admit you've been wasting time. To admit you've been weak. That takes strength. That takes courage. That takes power. Because most people run from that kind of honesty. But that's the first step to becoming unstoppable. You've got to wake up, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You've got to start seeing the truth that no one is coming to save you. No one's going to hand you the life you want. No one's going to push you every day. You've got to push yourself. Every single person you look up to, every champion, every winner, every savage who walks into a room and owns it. They weren't born special. They made a decision. They looked at the world and said, I'm not going to be another follower. I'm going to build myself into something no one can ignore. That mindset, that's everything. That's what separates the sheep from the lions. The weak from the strong, the quitters from the killers. You need that kind of mindset. You need to be hungry for it. You need to be so sick of your own excuses that you can't sleep until you do something about it. Because being unstoppable isn't about talent. It's not about money. It's not about looks or luck or status. It's about will. It's about fight. It's about how bad you want it when everything around you tells you to settle. Most people, they'll never get there. They'll keep talking, keep posting, keep dreaming, but dreams don't mean anything if you're not willing to suffer for them. You want to be unstoppable, then you better be ready to go to war with yourself. Every single day, you better be ready to shut down that weak voice that tells you to quit. You better be ready to do the hard things, the boring things, the painful things, consistently, because the world doesn't hand success to the lazy. It doesn't reward the soft. It doesn't listen to excuses. It bows to those who refuse to break, to those who rise up no matter how many times they fall. That can be you. That should be you. But it starts right here, right now, with one truth. Most people are stuck. Most people are asleep, and most people will never wake up. But you're not most people. Everything changes the moment you realize this. No one is coming to fix your life. No one is going to knock on your door, hand you your dream, and tell you everything's going to be okay. That moment of truth, that's when you finally take control. That's when you stop blaming, stop complaining, and start owning everything. Your pain, your past, your problems. Because personal responsibility is the foundation of power. Until you take full control of your life, you will always be a slave to your circumstances. And I don't care how unfair life has been. I don't care how hard your past was. I don't care who hurt you, who left you, who didn't believe in you. The truth is harsh, but it's freeing. If you want something to change, you have to change it. You see, most people live their whole life pointing fingers, blaming their childhood, blaming the economy, blaming the system, blaming other people. And you know what blaming gets you? Nothing. It doesn't fix your situation. It doesn't build your body. It doesn't grow your bank account. It doesn't develop your mind. It just keeps you stuck. Comfortable, maybe, but stuck. And if you're stuck, you're not moving forward. And if you're not moving forward, you're dying slowly. And deep down, you know it. Responsibility is power, and it's not always easy to take. It means looking in the mirror and saying, "This is my fault." That hits hard, it stings, but it also lights a fire. It tells your brain, I have the power to change this, and that's when everything shifts. That's when you stop waiting and start working. That's when you stop hoping and start building. You've got to master yourself. You've got to become the kind of person who does what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Motivation fades, feelings lie, discipline is the truth, self-mastery is about doing what's right, not what's easy. It's about creating habits that serve your future, not your comfort. Every single day, you're either feeding your weakness or feeding your strength. Which one are you feeding? People talk about wanting to win, wanting to be great, wanting to have it all, but most don't want to carry the weight that comes with that. They want freedom, but not the fight. They want results, but not the responsibility. That's not how it works. You want to win, then you've got to take control of every part of your life. You've got to stop looking for shortcuts and start building systems. You've got to say, no more lies, no more laziness, no more blaming the world. Start with the small things, get up on time, control what you eat, master your mornings, clean your space, build a routine. These aren't just chores, they are acts of war. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are winning the battle inside your mind, and that's the real war. The one with yourself, not with the world. Not with other people, with you. And if you can win that battle every day, consistently, then nothing can stop you. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being relentless. It's about showing up when you're tired. It's about pushing forward when no one's clapping for you. It's about standing tall even when everything inside you wants to quit. That's what makes you powerful. That's what separates those who try from those who dominate. You don't need approval. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to tell you you're good enough. You need to decide right now that this is your life and you're going to own every part of it. Good, bad, ugly, it's yours, and because it's yours, you have the right to change it. No more playing small, no more waiting, no more blaming. Take it all on, own it, every failure, every scar, every mistake. That's your fuel now, that's your fire. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you become unstoppable. Because now, nothing is out of your hands, nothing controls you, nothing has power over you but you. And once you've mastered yourself, once you've taken that level of control, there's no limit to what you can build, no wall you can't break, no dream you can't reach. Most people are living in a cage built out of comfort, fear, and weakness. They don't even realize it, but it's there around them, inside them, and the worst part, they built it themselves. Every time they chose the easy way instead of the hard way. Every time they said, I'll do it tomorrow. Every time they avoided pain, avoided discomfort, avoided effort. Brick by brick, they built their own prison, and now they wonder why they feel stuck, why they feel tired. Why nothing ever changes? Let me tell you why. Because comfort is a killer. It's a slow, sneaky, silent killer that wraps around your dreams and chokes the life out of them. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it destroys you in the long run. It keeps you soft. It keeps you average. It makes you forget what you're capable of. You stop pushing. You stop growing. You stop fighting. And slowly, without even noticing, you become just like everyone else. Settled, small, silent. And fear is the guard dog of that cage. It barks loud when you try to step out. It says, what if you fail? What if they laugh at you? What if it doesn't work? And instead of shutting that fear up, most people listen. They back down, they retreat, They let fear run their life, but here's the truth: fear is a liar. It's only loud because it knows what's on the other side of it. Power, growth, freedom. That's what fear is hiding from you. But you'll never taste it if you keep running from the fight. Weakness is the final piece. It's not something you're born with, it's something you allow. Every time you choose excuses over effort, you feed your weakness. Every time you say, "I can't," when really you just won't, you make that weakness stronger, and weakness loves company. It'll convince you to surround yourself with people just like you, soft, passive, going nowhere. You'll laugh together, scroll together, waste time together, and you'll call that friendship. But what it really is shared failure. But here's the truth most won't admit. You were not made to live in that cage. You were not built for comfort, fear, and weakness. You were built to conquer, to push limits, to break through walls, to fight and to win. That's why deep down you feel restless. That's why you get frustrated. Because your soul knows you're not living at full power. Your instincts know you were meant for more. That frustration, that pain, that's a gift. That's the fire trying to wake you up. You've got to break out of that cage. You've got to stop settling. You've got to stand up and say, no more. No more soft living. No more wasting time. No more letting fear decide your future. You've got to take control of your mind, train it like a weapon. Because your mind is either your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. And if you don't train it, the world will. And guess what the world will train you to be? Obedient, average, quiet, not you. You're not here to follow. You're here to lead, you're here to dominate, you're here to become a savage, but that only happens when you stop giving in to the lies, stop letting comfort run your schedule, stop letting fear make your decisions. Stop letting weakness live rent, free in your mind, kill it, starve it, replace it with strength, with fire, with absolute commitment to your future. You think champions don't feel fear, you think winners don't feel pain. Of course they do, but they face it. They stand in front of it and say, "You will not break me." That's what makes them different. That's what makes them unstoppable. It's not that they were born special. It's that they refuse to let fear, comfort, or weakness decide who they would become. Every time you choose to rise instead of rest, every time you move forward when it would be easier to quit, every time you silence the excuses and just do the work, you're breaking a piece of that cage. And one day, that cage won't be there anymore. You'll look back and realize you didn't just escape it. You destroyed it, and you became something the old version of you could only dream about. There's something inside you that keeps whispering, and maybe you've tried to ignore it, but it never really goes away. It's that burning feeling that says, "This isn't enough. You could be doing more. You could be becoming more," and the reason that voice bothers you so much is because it's telling the truth. Deep down, you know it. You know you're not giving everything you've got. You know you're holding back. And it eats at you, doesn't it? That frustration you feel, it's not because life is unfair. It's because you see your own potential and you know you're not living up to it. That's pain, that's hunger. And if you use it right, it becomes power. The world keeps telling you to relax, to slow down, to be grateful for what you have. And yeah, gratitude matters, but not when it becomes an excuse to stop chasing your greatness. You weren't made to live an average life. You weren't designed to just get by. You were built to dominate, to create, to break limits. But none of that happens if you keep settling for what's easy, what's safe, what's known. You've got to chase that fire. That voice inside you isn't a curse, it's a call to rise, to evolve, to transform. You know exactly what I'm talking about, those moments when you're alone and the noise stops. No one's watching, no one's judging, and you feel that sting in your chest, that thought that says, "Why am I not further ahead?" That's not weakness, that's your real self trying to break out. That's the part of you that refuses to die quietly. That's the part of you that still believes in what you could be, but most people drown that voice. They numb it with distractions, scrolling, eating, sleeping in, hanging around people who have no ambition. And slowly they kill it. They bury that part of themselves so deep, they forget it was ever there. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let comfort murder your calling. Don't let laziness steal your life. You've got to feel that hunger and move with it. Let it punch you in the chest every morning. Let it keep you up when everyone else is asleep. Let it drive you. Don't run from it. Run with it, because that hunger is your gift. That hunger is your weapon. That hunger is your reminder that you're not done yet. You want to be unstoppable? Then stop pretending you're okay with average. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying, "I'm fine," when you know damn well you're not. You're frustrated because you're meant to be more, and you're sick of watching other people live the life you know you could have, and that's not jealousy. It's a warning that time is moving. Life is passing, and if you don't move now, you'll blink and be stuck in the same place 5 years from now, filled with regret. You've got to be honest with yourself, brutally honest. Ask yourself, am I doing everything I can? And if the answer is no, change it. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret. And you don't want to wake up one day knowing you had the chance, the mind, the body, the time, but you wasted it. There is no secret. There is no magic formula. It's you versus you every single day, and the difference between the weak and the unstoppable. The weak hear that inner voice and ignore it. The unstoppable hear it, and they act. They let it fuel them. They let it drive them into the fire. They let it push them until it becomes impossible to quit. You have to feel that fire every day. You have to live like someone who's still hungry, no matter how much you've done or how far you've come. Because the moment you stop being hungry, the moment you think you've made it, is the moment you start falling. You've got to stay sharp, stay locked in, stay obsessed, because that hunger, that's your edge. That's what will separate you from everyone who gave up, slowed down, or lost focus. So when you feel that fire inside you, don't hide it, feed it, train it, trust it, because that's not just ambition. That's your destiny talking, and if you listen close enough, it'll take you places you never thought were possible. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. It's not about being in the mood. It's not about feeling inspired every day. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about showing up, no matter what. When you're tired, when you're stressed, when nobody's clapping for you, when no one's watching, you show up anyway. That's the power of discipline, and that's the difference between people who talk about greatness and the ones who actually build it. Motivation comes and goes. You can't rely on it. Some days you'll feel like a machine. Other days you'll feel like quitting the second your alarm goes off. But here's the thing, the ones who win, the ones who rise, they don't wait for motivation. They create momentum. They do the work even when it sucks, even when it's boring, even when it's painful. Because they know that every rep, every step, every single decision matters. It all adds up. Discipline is the daily battle, and the people who master it, they become unstoppable. The world's full of talented people who never made it, full of people with big dreams who never left the starting line. Why? Because they couldn't stay consistent. They gave up too fast. They listened to their feelings too much. They were motivated one day and lazy the next. But discipline doesn't care about your feelings. Discipline kills feelings. It says, get up, get moving, we've got work to do. And that voice inside you, the strong one, it's built through repetition, through doing the hard stuff over and over again until your body and your mind are trained for war. You think the greats were born disciplined? No, they built it through sacrifice, through saying no when everyone else was saying yes, through early mornings and late nights, through doing what others weren't willing to do. Discipline isn't given, it's earned every single day, and it's earned in private, when no one's clapping, when no one's impressed, when the only one keeping score is you. If you want to build a life that no one can take from you, you need discipline. You need it when you're broke. You need it when you're tired. You need it when you're winning, because discipline doesn't just build results. It builds character. It builds something inside you that doesn't break when life gets hard. And believe me, life will get hard. People will doubt you. Plans will fall apart. Storms will come. But if you've built discipline, you won't flinch. You won't fold. You'll stand up and keep moving. Most people aren't losing because they're not talented. They're losing because they quit too easily. They start strong and then disappear. They post about grinding but don't live it when things get tough. But if you can stay disciplined, if you can lock in on your goals and refuse to break, nothing can stop you. You'll get better, stronger, smarter, because every day you'll be getting 1% closer, and that 1% adds up, it compounds, until one day you look back and realize you're not even the same person anymore. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. It means putting your head down and grinding while others are making excuses. It means not skipping workouts. It means reading when you'd rather scroll. It means staying focused while the rest of the world is distracted. That's how you build a life that's rare. That's how you build a mind that's sharp. That's how you become the one everyone else watches in silence, wondering how the hell you did it. And let me tell you something else. Discipline gives you peace, real peace, not fake comfort, real peace, because when you know you've done the work, when you know you're keeping your promises to yourself, when you know you're not cheating the process, you sleep better. You walk taller, you respect yourself more, and that's the kind of confidence nobody can give you. It comes from the grind, it comes from discipline. It comes from you showing up again and again, no matter how you feel, no matter what's going on. So if you want to become something different, if you want to build a life that sets your soul on fire, if you want to become unstoppable, then you better master discipline, because it's the key to everything. Without it, you're just a dreamer, but with it, you're a doer, you're a force, you're someone who makes it happen no matter what. Your time is running out. You might think you have forever, but you don't. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. Life doesn't wait, time doesn't pause. Every day you wake up, the clock is ticking, and whether you use that time or throw it away, that's on you. Most people act like they've got unlimited chances, like tomorrow is guaranteed. But the truth is, tomorrow isn't promised to anyone, and if you keep putting off your goals, if you keep saying later, one day you'll look back and realize you ran out of time, and you didn't even see it coming. That should scare you, that should light a fire under your feet, because time is the one thing you can't earn more of. You can make more money, you can meet new people, you can build new opportunities. But time, once it's gone, so how are you spending it? Are you using your time to build, to grow, to push forward? Or are you wasting it on comfort, distractions, and things that don't move your life in the right direction? The harsh truth is this: most people are addicted to wasting time, scrolling for hours, talking about other people's lives, doing meaningless things that don't add any value, and then they wonder why they feel lost. Why they feel behind, why their dreams are still just dreams. It's because they traded their time for nothing, and every time you do that, you're robbing yourself, you're robbing your future, you're robbing the person you could have become. You've got to understand, every hour matters, every choice matters. You can't get serious later. You can't grind when you feel like it. That's how weak people think, that's how average people move. And if you're reading this, I know you're not built to be average. I know there's something inside you that wants more, something screaming at you to level up, but wanting more isn't enough. You've got to act like your life depends on it, because it does. Every successful person, every beast, every high-level performer, you think they're playing games with their time? No, they guard their time like a treasure. They don't waste it on gossip, on laziness, on things that don't serve their mission. Because they know the truth, how you spend your time is how you build your future. You want to win? Then stop letting your days slip away like they don't matter. They matter more than you realize, and here's what most people never understand. Saying no is power. Saying no to things that steal your time, that drain your energy, that keep you stuck. You don't owe anyone your time. You don't owe every party, every conversation, every pointless distraction. You owe yourself the best shot at the life you want. And that means being ruthless with your time. That means cutting out the garbage. That means living like your minutes are currency, because they are. You can build anything if you just stop wasting time. You can build the body, the business, the mindset, the freedom, but you've got to stop acting like you have forever. You don't. The clock doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't slow down for your feelings. Life keeps moving, and if you're not moving with it, you're getting left behind. You've got to become obsessed with progress, obsessed with using every day to sharpen your mind, to strengthen your body, to build your future. That doesn't mean you can't rest. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy life. But it does mean your focus needs to be locked in. Your priorities need to be clear, and your days need to be lived with intention. Time is not your enemy, but if you don't respect it, it will beat you. It will pass you by and take your chances with it. That dream you keep talking about, that vision you see when you close your eyes, that future you crave, it's not waiting for you, it's available to you. But only if you move, only if you take ownership of your time and use it like it matters. Because it does matter, it's everything. So the next time you want to hit snooze, the next time you think, I'll start tomorrow, the next time you're about to waste another hour on nothing, stop. Remind yourself that you don't have time to waste. Remind yourself that every second is a step forward or a step back. And if you want to become the kind of person who wins in this life, you've got to treat your time like it's the most valuable thing you own. Because it is. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you powerful. Everyone loves a winner when they've already won. Everyone claps when you're on the stage. Everyone supports you when it's safe to support you. But what about when you're alone, grinding in silence and nobody sees you? What about when you're chasing a dream and people laugh, roll their eyes, or tell you to be realistic? That's when self-belief matters most. When no one else can see your vision, you still have to see it. There will be days when it feels like the whole world is against you, when everything you try seems to go wrong, when the pressure gets heavy and you feel like breaking. And in those moments, you've only got two choices: break or believe. Believe that you're built for more. Believe that the pain has a purpose. Believe that you're not done yet. That's what separates the weak from the unstoppable. Not talent, not luck, belief. You've got to get to a place in your mind where quitting is no longer an option. Where no matter how bad it gets, no matter how tired you are, no matter how slow the progress feels, you keep going. Because you know, deep down, you are not going through all of this for nothing. You're going through it because you're being shaped. You're being tested, and if you stay in the fight long enough, you'll win. But that takes belief that's unshakable. That kind of belief comes from within, not from outside validation. Too many people wait for approval. They wait for someone to tell them it's okay to go after something big. They wait for signs. But if you need someone else to tell you you're allowed to believe in yourself, you've already lost. You've already given away your power. You've got to decide that you're worth betting on, even if no one else is betting on you. You've got to be the one who says, I don't care if they don't see it yet, I'm still going to become it. This isn't about fake confidence or pretending to have it all figured out. It's about looking at your flaws, your failures, your fears, and still choosing to believe that you can rise, that you can win, that you can keep showing up and becoming stronger, sharper, smarter. That's the kind of belief that builds champions. Not loud talk, quiet conviction, not arrogant certainty. The quiet, relentless fire in your chest that says, I'm not done, I'm just getting started. And understand this, your belief is what gives others permission to believe too. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself when life punches you in the face. That energy speaks before you even open your mouth. People feel it. They may doubt you now, but if you keep showing up, if you keep building in silence, they'll come around. And even if they never do, you'll know you stayed true to yourself. You'll know you didn't fold, you didn't quit. You believed when it would have been easier to walk away. That's what makes your story powerful. Not that everything went right, but that you kept going when everything went wrong. That's the kind of story people remember. That's the kind of spirit the world respects. Because belief isn't just about winning. It's about refusing to lose. It's about refusing to let the world define you, refusing to settle for less than you're capable of, refusing to let fear, failure, or doubt have the final word in your life. If you could see what's on the other side of your pain, you'd never even consider giving up. You'd go harder, you'd push faster, you'd stand taller. But right now, you've got to walk by belief, not by sight. You've got to trust the process, trust your grind, and most of all, trust yourself. Because if you don't believe in you, why should anyone else? Every unstoppable person you admire today, they had to believe first, before the trophies, before the praise, before the spotlight. They believed in empty rooms. They believed when it was hard. They believed when nobody else clapped. And that belief is what carried them through the storms. That belief is what made them unstoppable. So when you feel tired, when you feel doubted, when you feel small, remember, belief isn't about how things look right now. Belief is about knowing who you are, what you're becoming, and refusing to quit until the world sees it too.